Hi, I'm here to talk about Spaceteam ESL. Spaceteam ESL is a game that you download onto your phone and you play with a group of people. So it is a cooperative game. You play together, you connect to each other through either Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, and you play the game together. The idea is that you are flying a spaceship and you're fighting against the clock to not get hit by an asteroid. So everybody has their own control panel. Looks something, similar to this here, and then you'll receive instructions here. So on your control panel, you will have many different things on it that you need to move or change or press. So everyone's is their own and they're all different. On the way that this game differs from the original Spaceteam that doesn't have the educational focus at all is that this one actually uses English words and vocabulary. So that's kind of the point. On the original Spaceteam, it had made-up words that weren't real, so it was really funny to play it with a group of people, but it didn't really have much of an educational use for it. So with this one, you would have maybe 6 to 7 different panels on your control panel, and you would be listening for someone to give you a command. So I would be listening for someone to tell me to turn the animal up to 2. Or to flip up the plants, or to turn on the table, right? So as I'm listening for these things, I am also receiving commands to tell my other teammates. So above the control panel is the instructions. So I would be getting these instructions that say, bring strong ball. And I don't have a strong ball on my control panel, but one of my teammates has strong ball in their control panel. So I'm telling them to do it. And my instruction goes away as soon as they do it. Of course, we're all fighting the clock, so this little green bar here is the clock, so I only have a little bit of time left. And once everyone has completed all of their commands, then we move on to the next level. If we do not all complete our commands, then we get hit by the asteroid. So, as I'm listening for people to tell me what to do with my controls, then I am also at the same time yelling to them to do what to do with their controls. So it's a bunch of yelling commands at the same time in a very short, limited amount of time, and it gets very stressful and hectic, and it's a lot of fun. So this has a great application for ESL classes and just English learners in general because it's a really good combination of listening and speaking at the same time. There are not a lot of games that I think are actually fun that are also effective for speaking and listening. So this is a great way to do it. It also takes away a lot of the formality. One of the issues I've had with my students are that, speaking in front of a class or doing that sort of thing, conversations, it all feels very rehearsed. It's not, very natural speech. And doing this in a short time limit, it really forces people to just make it instinct versus, thinking about it so much. So I think it's a great practice for listening and speaking and combining those skills together. It's really hard to do in your native language to be listening for commands and yelling commands at the same time. So doing it in your learned language is a great activity to strengthen your skills. So since it is a phone app, I'll kind of show you what it looks like here. So this is what it looks like. It also has a few really great, parts to it that you can use. So it has a part here that says practice. And if you go to practice, it gives you, which words are going to be used. So I can choose from verbs, adjectives, or nouns. And then it gives you the list of words that you're going to be using, and you can hear them.
Accept.
And then you can record it.
Accept.
And then play it back. So it's a really nice way to practice and listen to them together.
Accept.
And then you can practice on your own the words that you're going to be expected to use. So that's a really nice part of it. You can also, there's different word levels. So you can do different word levels. You can also do different game speeds. So there's 5 levels of words and 3 levels of speed for the game. You can also, if you look at the bottom there, you can customize your lexicon. So if you have a teacher account, which is probably a paid account, then you can customize your lexicon and choose what vocabulary to put in it and have your students practice with those words. other than that, I think it's just a really fantastic game. Some of the downsides of it is that it doesn't really have a lot of room outside of the box. So, you can't get super creative with it. Once you kind of get good at the skill and once you kind of practice a little bit, you can be pretty good at this game. At the same time, I think that is improving language skills, but, I think with a lot of educational games, sometimes you can just get good at the game without really getting better at the objective when it comes to the educational objective. So, there is a little bit of a downside in that, but I think for a small amount of play and to kind of use it as a way to reinforce some skills, I think it's a really great way to practice.